Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Spiderhead is a new movie out now on Netflix, written by the guys that wrote the Deadpool movies, directed by the guy that directed the smash hit Top Gun remake, starring Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, Journey Smollett. Love these actors. Smollett was a huge fan of from the Friday Night Lights series. Miles Teller, love Whiplash. Chris Hemsworth, enjoyed Ragnarok. Enjoyed some of the Thor movies, I guess, or at least Thor in some of those movies. So I went into this movie not knowing anything about it other than those things. Never watched the trailer, didn't read anything about it, but I was excited. It looked like fun, right? It looked like a fun movie. I thought it was going to be like an action movie or something. Anyway, going into it, start the movie, and it's like, okay, the premise, interesting. It's like this luxury prison. They're testing, it's like this pharmaceutical kind of testing facility where they're clearly trying to manipulate human emotions. They kind of go over the different types of drugs. Like one is for sexual attraction. The other one is like for truth. The other one is like makes you sick. There's one that makes you just uncontrollably laugh or just think everything's funny. There's like this interesting kind of contraption that all the drugs are in that you can control the levels of the dosage with your phone. The premise, all of that stuff, super interesting, right? Super interesting. That's it. The rest of the movie, in my opinion, is complete garbage. Garbage. It is stupid. This entire movie. This movie feels like it was a rejected Black Mirror premise. Like, this is like a premise that they wrote for Black Mirror, and they're like, well, it doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really flesh out these ideas that you're trying, these concepts that you're trying to do. So we're going to trash that. That's what it feels like. And then at the end of this movie, spoilers for this garbage movie. The end of this, it's a sci-fi thriller for 2/3 and a boring thriller at that. The last third of this movie is a romp, goofy comedy. As people are trying to escape, it is may as well have been on a Farrelly Brothers movie back when they did comedies. It is goofy. This escape scene set to music. It is bad. It is so bad. From the escape, from Chris Hemsworth character getting away in a plane and then going through all of the emotions and then eventually crashing the plane into a mountain. Yes, I said spoilers. You've been warned. Dumb. Bad acting, by the way. Clear, this movie shows the limitations of Chris Hemsworth's ability to act. So when he's in that plane and he's supposedly cycling through all these emotions, it's sad, right? I couldn't, as far as an actor that 100% could have pulled off this role, could have pulled off that scene, is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey 1,000% could have, pulled off that role. Has in the past. If you watch Me, Myself, and Irene, you want to talk about a guy who can pull off the idea of different emotions instantly changing within a person. Chris Hemsworth is not that actor. Chris Hemsworth is just a gorgeous man. That is about it. He can play Thor. He can wear a fat suit to be funny because fat is funny. But he can be directed by Taika Waititi, and they can use this gorgeous man in a way to make it buyable, that he's believable, that he is entertaining. But his ability to act, his range is very limited, in my opinion. Like, it's a cross between he's trying to be like Brad Pitt and Jim Carrey, and doesn't pull off either of them at all. There's a lot of dumb things about this movie that are not just the bad performance by Chris Hemsworth. The concept of like this billionaire running this facility on his own with prisoners who sign up, and it's an open door policy where they can come and go throughout this building. Like, they can't leave the building, but everywhere within the building they can go, including like the area where the control center is, where they have monitors hooked up for like 30 cameras that are all like close-up views of the test subject. Like, just a bunch of camera views that make no sense why there would be so many different angles of close-ups of somebody's face. Why anybody would be allowed in a control room at all. Like, everything seems very unscientific on every level. Like, this is a movie that was written by somebody who, like, takes medical advice from Joe Rogan. Right? That's like the level of, like, and I'm not a well-versed scientist myself, but I understand that to perform experiments successfully, to get successful data from experiments, certain procedures have to be followed. And this feels like somebody who just imagines what scientific experiments are. So bad. So that just the whole scientific aspect of it, I don't buy. I don't buy that this guy is the head of a pharmaceutical company that's testing out all these drugs. The reason behind naming all the drugs after a bingo card makes zero sense whatsoever. Makes zero sense whatsoever. The whole, like, reveal of the project trying to create a system of drugs to make humans obedient was clear from the beginning. Like, obviously they want to control all these human emotions. So yeah, if you can control every emotion a human has, then yeah, you're going to be able to make them obedient. So it's like this reveal of this OBDX thing like this movie. It felt like this movie is like, oh, wait till they see the bingo card. It's all going to be like, oh, I'm going to be blowing minds with this bingo card. I'm going to be blowing minds with this OBDX thing. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear the many faces. Original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. Doesn't make any sense. I don't buy any of it. I don't buy any of the relationships. Like, they have Miles Teller, like they do these experiments with Miles Teller and these like other women that are there where he makes them have sex with each other. And it's like, okay, like there doesn't seem to be any point to anything, right? It's just like, oh, we need to have these scenes where he's having sex with these people. And then there's going to be scenes where it's like he has to choose which he wants to give the medication that makes you feel sick, that makes you just feel horrible. And he doesn't want to do it. And somehow that's scientifically viable that he doesn't want to do it. It's like, I don't buy any of it. I don't buy that the leader of this thing, first off, I don't buy that they would put the Medipacks on your lower back for a million logistical reasons. This movie also tries to make me believe that Chris Hemsworth can't reach his lower back. I am an out-of-shape fat man. I have zero issues reaching to my lower back. Of all of the hard-to-reach places on a human body, the lower back doesn't seem to be the best place to try and convince me that Chris Hemsworth is unable to get to that Medipod. Not to mention that if for whatever reason Chris Hemsworth, his muscles are just so bulk, he has zero flexibility, and because of his inability to be flexible, he can't reach to his lower back. He would trust somebody to just put in those medications himself? Like, he just trusts his assistant, who he treats like absolute shit. Like, I'm going to treat you like shit, but I'm also going to just trust that you're putting in the correct vials for each of these things. Dumb. Obviously, the lower back Medipod location is where it's going to get broken, and it does. And that's why Chris Hemsworth's character is fluctuating through all of these emotions, because apparently when you get injected by all of the different serums, they kind of, it's like Bruce Lee in a fight. They don't all come at once. They kind of take turns. Like, I don't buy any of this movie. None of it. I don't buy Miles Teller going to call his girlfriend on the outside. There's like these super elaborate like helicopter shots. They take him to some other island where he has to hike up to the top of some mountain for him to get a cell phone signal, only to call a voicemail? I mean, obviously we don't know it's a voicemail when he first does it. It's just stupid to see the lengths they go to for him to make a call. Are you telling me this like high-end luxury prison with this billionaire pharmaceutical guy doesn't have the technology for him to make a call locally? They have to take boats to another island. He has to climb to the top of that island in order to get a signal. What are we doing in this movie? What are we doing in this movie? Like, oh, we need some amazing like helicopter shots. Like, we're going to show Miles Teller on this giant mountain where he's making this emotional call to his girlfriend. Because he's in prison. And he's in prison, like, they slowly show why he's in prison. Ooh, why is he in prison? You would think it would be something, like, horrific. He just got drunk, got in an accident, people died. Right? Manslaughter, whatever. Not that that's not horrible, but, like, out of all of the horrible things people do, like, it would seem like, I don't know, it just seems stupid that he would be there. It seems stupid that he would be there. And it's like they don't show that his girlfriend died until later. Like, that's the reveal. Oh, he's calling a voicemail. He's like, oh, his girlfriend actually died in that car accident. It's like, you know, a lot of this stuff you could kind of guess. Like the whole obedience thing, you can kind of guess from the beginning. Like this movie thinks it's like, oh, we're going to have these reveals. They're not reveals. He has this relationship with Jury Smollett's character, who seems like she's just there to cook, but apparently is a prisoner also because she went to work and forgot her kid in the car. First off, who's taking their kid to work? Right? Like, if you're getting your kid, if you know you're going to work and you get your kid ready to take them to work, you're going to, I mean, I know people forget their kids in their cars. It happens, right? Parents, sleep deprived. They go to the grocery store. They forget their kids there. They go running errands. They forget their kids there. But, like, if you're going to work unless like your work has a daycare or something like that. But even still, you would be like, oh yeah, but like, it doesn't make sense that she would be going to work and forgot her kid. And it doesn't make sense, like, she acts like it's the worst thing ever, right? She acts like she got angry at her kid and just choked the life out of her kid. That's like the level of like horrific shame she has, right? That she killed her kid in this, like, but she did a thing that like people do all the time. It's sad, and it doesn't make sense that people do it, but they do it. But then how they explain it in this movie doesn't even make sense. Like, just don't say she was going to work. Say she was running errands and forgot her kid in the car. Forgot that she had brought her kid. But why, like, if you're going to work, why would you even bring your kid? Like, that doesn't, unless there's a daycare. And even still, if there was a daycare, then wouldn't you notice that you're not dropping your kid off in the daycare? You just, like, go into work, you clock in. I don't know. I didn't buy it. I didn't care that she killed her kid. I didn't buy the relationship that Miles Teller has for her. I didn't buy that Miles Teller is, like, all torn up about his girlfriend that he, was drunk driving with. I didn't buy the placement of the Moby pack is stupid. I didn't buy Chris Hemsworth's inability to reach to his lower back, or that he would trust anybody to put the drugs in, because he liked to recreationally use these drugs, obviously. And then the end, like, Miles Teller, like, somebody killed themselves, and for some reason, Chris Hemsworth needs to go into the room where they killed themselves to yell at his assistant, right? He had to leave. The only reason he left is so that Miles Teller could get the keys and get and I'm not even using their names because this movie is so stupid. So Miles Teller's character is Jeff. I mean, even their names are stupid. Chris Hemsworth is Abnesty. Whoa. Abnesty is the dude's name. Lizzie is Jury Smollett's character's name. His Abnesty's assistant is Verlaine. Just dumb names. Dumb. Like, okay. So Abnesty goes into the testing room where this woman killed herself to yell at Verlaine. Just to yell at him. But the whole reason he did that was so that he could leave the control room, because he dropped his keys on his way out, because he locked his little booklet, whatever, in the top drawer. It's like, oh, no, I got to go yell at my assistant. Let me lock my thing in the top drawer, and oops, I'm clumsy. I lost my keys. I mean, obviously, my arms don't work very well. I can't reach my little Medipod on my lower back, so I can barely be qualified to put keys in my pocket. It's just like, how does this... Chris Hemsworth, we all know, you look at Chris Hemsworth, and you can tell that he is physically unable to do most tasks. So I guess it makes sense that he can't reach his lower back, and then he has problems putting keys in his pocket when he's going to yell at his assistant, Verlaine. So he goes to yell at his assistant, so it gives Jeff time to, like, get the booklet out of the thing and look at it. And what does he find in the booklet? He finds a drawing of a molecule on letterhead with Abnesty's name on the top. So he's like, oh, it's his letterhead. And he drew a molecule, and on it he's got OBDX. Oh. And then he also finds this bingo card with gold stars on it. So that's how he named all of the things, like N40, G46. So stupid. So stupid. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes.
You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today.
So he finally, like, there's this whole fight. During the fight, Jeff is able to slam Abnesty against the wall, break his little medi pot on his back. So he's like gets rushed with these drugs in succession. So he's like going from laughing to crying, are the two real emotions that he's doing. Just like that's the extent of his performance for the rest of the film, as Jeff and Lizzie go to escape. And of course, the phone breaks, so Hemsworth isn't able, Abnesty isn't able to control the drugs. And it breaks and then is like randomly playing songs. Because, that's what happens when you break a cell phone, a smartphone, that it just starts playing songs randomly. So, and the songs, of course, where would the songs get pumped out of? Not just the phone. Of course, his phone is connected via Bluetooth to the entire PA system of the entire luxury jail. So while they're escaping, there's songs playing. And then you have Abnesty getting on the thing and going like, hey, all the prisoners in here, you want to get out of here? We'll check it out. You got to stop these guys from escaping. And then it turns into this comedy. Like, so much of a comedy. Like, what would happen in a comedy if, like, there was a bunch of prisoners trying to stop somebody from escaping, right? You'd be able to distract them very easily with, like, throwing keys, like, hey, the pantry, like the guy who eats a lot, like, go to the pantry. You got a bunch of food in there. Like, just really stupid things to distract people. You got, like, a couple fights or whatever. They get through a door, and then there's a scene of all of the prisoners in unison slamming themselves against a door to the beat of the music. It is dumb. It's like the dumbest comedy. And like somehow Chris Hemsworth gets out before them and gets in the plane, and he's like flying the plane, cycling through these emotions. And then, like, he gets stuck on one of the emotions that just makes him, like, fall in love with the sun or whatever, the sky. And because he falls in love with the sky, he doesn't notice that he's about to crash into a mountain, and he just crashes into a mountain. Meanwhile, like, his guy had gotten the police, and he was, like he left. Verlaine left and got the police. The police believed him, right? Police, of course, police believe anybody. You tell anything to the police, they'll believe you. Not only will the police believe you, but they will 100% do everything in their power to help you. That is the police in this movie. Because Verlaine goes, is like, hey, the billionaire that runs that private prison? Well, he's doing some shady stuff, so why don't you come and arrest him? And the police are like, oh, okay, let's go do it. So you got Verlaine on the front of the boat, as the boat of the police officers are going to arrest Amnesty, whatever his name is. It's like, what? Doesn't matter. Crashes himself into the thing, and then Miles Teller and Smollett, Lizzie and Jeff get in a boat, because there's a boat there too, and they take off, and they laugh. It is dumb. It is such a stupid movie. Like, apparently this is based on a short story. I have to imagine that short story is decent. I mean, somebody decided to put money into it. They got big name actors. Netflix thought it was a great idea. Somebody at Netflix thought it was a great idea, which Netflix is making some very weird decisions these days. But this feels like a bad short story, not even fleshed out into a full movie. Like, it is so stupid. All aspects of this movie, I do not recommend it, obviously. Maybe it's so bad it's good. I could see I mean, it's written by the Daredevil guy, not Daredevil, Deadpool guys. But there's definitely only comedy at the end. Like, there's no real comedy. It is dumb. This whole movie is mind-blowing how bad this movie is. So don't watch it. It's called Spiderhead. Unless, like, if you're somebody that likes to watch bad movies intoxicated, then you might enjoy it. But if you don't, if you like watching good movies, or if you don't want to have, like, negative opinions about Chris Hemsworth or Miles Teller or Journey Smollett, which I don't necessarily think they are bad. Clearly, I don't think Hemsworth has the range that this role would have benefited from. But most of the problems in this movie are the writing. The writing in this movie is garbage. So anyway, Spiderhead, which I don't even know what the title means. It's all nothing makes sense.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.